What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Boxing Club podcast. I am yours truly, Big Chubbs, alongside with my fellow Potters. What's up, Coach El Guapo?
The one and only here today.
What up, Eric? How you doing?
What's up, man? Doing great.
What up, Lou?
What's up, baby?
How you doing, Pin Pin?
Doing well.
Hey, we got a lot of shit to talk about today.
We do. And let's start now. Last week we didn't have Lou Almighty and
Yes.
Slick Eric.
yeah.
I understand it was Valentine's and they were on a date together.
One of our bumpers turned off.
Hey, don't be jealous.
Left us hanging.
Welcome back, guys.
Good to be
So
back.
how was your day?
Today?
No, last week.
I noticed you. Yeah, I could tell you guys got hickeys. What's going on?
Shit, man.
Just had sushi. That's all.
Sushi lotte, way.
Don't get it twisted. It was 100% coincidental.
Nah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard that before.
No, look, we have a lot to talk about.
Let's get it.
Last night was intense.
Oh, it was.
I had 3 screens up.
3?
Oh, shit.
You were smart.
I had 2 screens and a
easy.
cell phone. What'd you got?
I got a cell phone, that's it.
What'd you got?
I was bouncing a 85-inch TV.
Yeah, see, Coach got a floss on us like that.
Oh, man, you stunting on it.
Stop.
Flexing.
Stunting on the play.
4K.
Dang.
Oh.
Shit, I got a 55 8K. What's up? No, I'm just kidding.
Liar.
No, did you guys watch the DAZN undercard?
I think that's
Any DAZN fights?
The DAZN was on my phone, so I was back and forth and then juggling the babies. So I got pieces of it.
Daddy duties, good. I like it.
Same here.
DAZN?
The zone, just back and forth.
I didn't get any of that, man. I was like,
All right. Well,
Hit me.
it was a pretty good undercard.
Okay, what do we got?
We got Gill versus Juarez, right? Some English dude versus a Mexican. Gill, who's 25-1-0, and Juarez, who's 25-9-0. They had a really good fight. To be honest with you, I felt like it was a draw, but they gave it to the English dude. And the whole time they were, commentating the fight,
Right.
they never used Juarez's name. It was always the Mexican.
oh, really?
Here comes the Mexican.
Really? The whole time?
The whole time. They maybe said his name like twice. And it was always, the Mexican with the uppercut. Oh, it's the Mexican with the right hook. And I'm just like, damn, bro, like he has a name, you know what I mean?
Well, it was a Mexican night.
It was a Mexican night. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So then, also we had Robbie Davis Jr. versus Juan Valenzuela, I think. Who, Robbie Davis Jr., who's 22 and 0. 20-2-0. Not 22.
20.
Just clearing, just
Gotcha.
making sure
Gotcha.
we clear.
That's how rumors start.
And Valenzuela, who's 22-2-1. So that was
I'm not gonna lie, you almost lost me. I think I got it.
okay. I hope so. So, anyways, that was a really good fight. So Valenzuela got warned one time for a rabbit punch while in the clinch.
Right.
So he got, all right, hey, no hitting behind the head. Bam. Like a round or two later, he does it again. He gets a point deduction. Right? Bam, 1 point. I think that was like in the 4th or 5th round. But this dude, Robbie Davis, warning after warning after warning after warning.
Really?
Not 1 point deducted throughout the whole fight.
Really?
Yep. And it was the Mexican. They never used his last name. Here comes the Mexican. And
What's
Robbie
his last name?
Valenzuela.
Venezuela. Okay, so it's not a tough name to pronounce.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So what do you think of that? Like, am I tripping?
You
Or
know
is
what?
that kind of messed up?
Keep in mind, we're humans, so we make errors all the time, and we're biased. So
But if you're a commentator, you literally
you should know better.
got paper or a
that's-
laptop.
It's
right
true,
in front of you.
but keep
You know what I
in mind, even if you're a commentator, you're still biased in so many ways, and I've seen it 1,000 times where I was like, oh, this guy's a good commentator versus this someone is not.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to get good. That's why you're not
But
on Showtime.
But we'll be on Showtime. This podcast is going
Oh, my man.
What do you think, Eric? Like, Am I tripping or?
I mean, I feel like it's back and forth. You like, it's
Is it a respect thing?
not
It
even
is.
respect. It's like just easier way to commentate
You're
it
also,
because
I think what you're trying to say is that you're calling the fight in the moment.
yeah.
So you're trying to pick up on punches and stay on track.
Oh, but
Commentating
they
on
know Davis Jr.
That's true. I mean,
They know
I
Davis
wish I'd
Jr.
seen
Yeah.
it. I would have better.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it either. So
You know, on that, you know who surprisingly is a really, really good commentator?
Me.
You're a funny guy. I thought I was a clown in this podcast.
Oh, we're all clowns.
No, is Timothy Bradley.
Oh,
Timothy Bradley's a good one.
He's a really good
You're
one.
right.
Yeah.
You know who caught me by surprise back in the day was, and he wasn't always really on point, but I think it was the way he talked was Paulo Malignaggi.
Oh, I, did
I was
like
about to say
Paulo
that too.
Malignaggi,
Real good. You,
Abner Mares is not bad too.
Abner Manes is also not bad, but maybe I'm being biased, but Joe Goosen is also a good commentator.
well,
I
I'm
love
going to go further than that because you guys are young. I'm going back towards the 70s.
Oh,
A very famous guy, Howard Cosell. He made boxing as well, just because of his voice alone against Muhammad Ali. So they had a good relationship, and Howard had a good voice. And again, he made mistakes, but nobody cared.
I think that's Paulie. A lot of times, I'm
Right.
like, it kind of sounds like you don't really know what you're talking about, but he said it so well, and people didn't care. People, I like the guy. I like him. Keep him there.
Mike, bro.
I knew I called that when I said Howard Cosell. Like, who the hell is he? It's back in the 70s. That guy was famous famous.
You know I was only born in 2002.
I know. That's why I said I'm aging myself right now when I said back in the 70s. But if you look it up, all these old farts know who Howard Cosell, and they go say, yeah, he was the man. No one's gonna.
Compare him. Like,
All right, well, everybody.
Oh,
everybody
it's
was
really superior because he had the voice, he had the personality. He just had.
the hair?
He had the hair. As old as he was, he had the good attitude. And he had a good comeback for everything. And again, in boxing, him and Muhammad Ali had a good relationship. I'll give you an idea. One time, Howard Cosell says, "Muhammad, aren't you getting so old now? You should quit boxing." And Muhammad Ali goes, "Well, you know what? I talked to your wife. She said you're getting old too. Maybe you should get out of this relationship." So this are things that they had a great relationship. But yeah, look him up. Again, all the young people are like, who the hell was he? But again, that was Wild World of Sports. That was Howard Cosell.
I will look it up.
No, hey, everybody got a YouTube that.
Yeah, YouTube it. I'm going to.
I can't believe I just aged myself.
Yeah.
God.
So how old
Did
were
it on your
you?
own.
How old were you in the 70s, coach?
Oh, I was just a young man running around.
Dude, I can't believe none of you guys watched the zone fights, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was juggling.
There was too many good fights. Here's the problem. Here's the main problem.
Oh, do they do that on purpose?
Well, no. It was stupid. There were so many good fights, but only one main fight everybody wanted to see. The main gladiators. Again, it even shut down Mexico. That's how big this fight was. When I said,
Really?
oh, when these guys were fighting, no stores were open. Everybody was home. No one's went in the streets. They were like, oh, the fight's on. Everybody was home. Only the bars were doing it. But anything else was closed. If you ever
Does
been,
that happen on Canelo fights?
Nah.
no. This one here was
I think
bigger.
there's
If you
no like
honestly, I've seen it.
I know that.
When I'll give you an idea. When I was in Cancun, and it was Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, and honestly, the streets cleared out. It was dead quiet, and all through. This is Cancun, and because it was Manny against Mayweather, and I was joking with everybody, and I said, and everybody did not want Mayweather to win. And I said, so I go, what are you guys going for Manny? And they all said, well, he's closest to being Mexican. And so Mayweather was nowhere
Mexican
near.
too.
But honestly, they shut down. The whole town
So
shut
this
down.
last fight shut down.
Oh, it shuts down. Again, the Mexican pride, again, all eyes were on there. Even the president of Mexico was at home watching this fight. So, therefore, again, everybody else too. There were so
Talking
many.
about the Broner fight, right? I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, right. That's another thing I'm talking about. I'm like going, these other fights would have been exciting, but they were killed. I give you a prime example. Dana White learned this mistake. when Floyd Mayweather was doing a pay-per-view fight, Dana White, we're going to beat them. We're going to have a big MMA fight. They kept losing money, and finally Dana White admitted, he goes, I'm done. I'm not going ever against Mayweather on a pay-per-view. We lost so much money. And we were charging $40 while he was charging $80, and we were still losing money. And again, that was the same thing. You had all these great fights coming on, but no one cared to see it because you had this mega fight going on, and it was a mega fight.
It was.
You know, it was like a Super Bowl being played.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, so these other ones didn't matter. Did not matter. They were playing. They were fighting. So, and I seen that. So that's why I was bouncing from channels to channels, but I kept going back to the main one.
I'm trying to, like I said, I was juggling 4 different things, but I love watching undercard fights.
Right.
To all the fights. So I try to, switch back and forth, but it just wasn't working. I caught the main fights.
Right.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you.
What I missed?
Well, you missed a lot of good fights, dude.
Would you miss a lot of good fights?
Yeah, you missed me too.
No, the Kelly fight too. That was a good. Did you catch a little bit of that?
I got very little of it.
Well, Kelly got an elbow to the back of the dome, like right behind the ear.
Elbow?
Elbow.
Really?
It was weird. He kind of like threw a hook. He fainted, and then when he came back up, it caught his elbow, and it just gashed him like deep, bro. It was nasty.
It happens.
So he like he was kicking ass through the whole fight, but he was losing so much blood that he got weak. He got weak and ended up getting knocked out. Mm-hmm. So
Oh, damn.
it was a good fight. I think Kelly was winning the whole fight. The dude was Russian. I can't even say his name, but he was Russian.
You're gonna do what the commentators did then.
Yeah,
The Russian.
exactly.
The Russian.
So they know how we feel.
There you go.
So what is your topic of choice as far as the main fights? What do you got?
As in
Well,
the Valdez fight.
Well, before there was reason why I was so interested in Showtime. It was a good card. There was Dominic Brazil, and really why I was interested with Dominic Brazil.
That was boring.
Well, yes, but
Hey.
reason is to a point it was
It was.
boring. Not that the opponent it wasn't, because he was in my gym, and that dude is tall.
Oh, he's gigantic.
He's
He's
when
freaking huge.
you see how tall this guy
He
is.
looks huge on TV.
Oh
Just
my
imagine
goodness,
him in person.
Yeah.
he made me look like a hobbit.
I think we all do, Coach.
You don't. So I was interested just to see how he looked, and I know he's been off for such a long time, and it clearly showed it
His last fight, he got knocked out, right?
What was it against Wilder, right?
against
No,
Wilder.
it was,
That was 2 years ago.
Wasn't it against Joshua?
No. He lost to Joshua the first time. Then the last fight was against Wilder,
Was
and
it?
that was 2 years ago when he got knocked out by Wilder. So he has all this ring rust, and it clearly showed it. I mean, he wasn't throwing punches; he was just pushing his fists out.
Yeah,
And-
there was
and he was just
nothing-
catching,
He
but-
was like super feather fisted, bro. Big time.
His balance was off. Everything about him was wrong. He had a good trainer, but it just wasn't there for him. And what he should have done, if he was going to fight, find a tune-up fight, an easier fight, and get back to the ring. But he wanted the Russian guy. And he was
But
Russian.
that was his pro debut, right?
No, it was not.
No, the Russian guy.
No, it was not. Was not. In fact, he's the only one who went the distance against the King.
Oh, really?
So, and so when I say the King, Tyson Fury, they went the whole distance, and he gave him a good fight. So,
Okay.
The Gypsy King.
so
Gypsy King.
therefore, I was too much of a fighter to go after, and it clearly showed it. And if I was Dominic, I would say, hey, let's just get a starter fight going.
But he went the distance, though.
Well, he's a big man. That dude's huge. Of course he went the distance. The guy was smaller. But you can see he was gun shy. The guy was just peppering him, and it was really one-sided.
I think I don't know if it was the 7th and 8th or the 8th and 9th where he like put some pep in his step.
Right.
And those 2 rounds, I don't know if it was the 7th and 8th.
The only thing, yeah, that was the uppercuts.
Yes.
That was the only thing he had was the
Yeah.
uppercut because he didn't bring that into the later rounds, but just wasn't enough. It just,
No,
I can see where it was going, so I kept changing the channel.
like his whole body language was just, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, it was ring rust. I mean, he tried. it was just not there for him.
Well,
So-
I think the Valdez fight started in the 7th round of that fight.
Correct. No, but no, 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th, something like that.
8th and 9th.
So I was just like, all right, I'm falling
Yeah.
asleep.
See ya.
Let me change the channel.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, so.
But the Valdez fight. Oh, hold on. Before
Good.
we get to the Valdez fight.
The one I did watch.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me. I'm just kidding.
I'll start twerking, man.
2 days later,
Start moving.
Matthias Radcliffe fought yesterday.
he
Ooh,
did.
I saw
Oh,
that.
man, fight. Yeah.
Hey,
Fought a great fight.
He got a draw.
He did
Although
get a
I
draw.
feel he put a little more juice than a draw. But keep your head up, champ. You're still undefeated. It's a
Still
draw.
undefeated.
Get
Yep.
back to the
Good
gym.
It's just a learning curve.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
learn from
And
there.
I know Matthias, his mentality, he broke it down to us. He's not worried about it. He's going to get back in the gym, right back to the drawing board, and get back to work.
And for those that didn't watch the fight, go ahead and follow Matthias Radcliffe on his Instagram. The fight is in the
On his
link
bio.
on his bio.
Yep.
So go to his bio link, go follow him, watch it on his bio link.
Yep. Keep the sport going. Or get off the train. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So now,
The
that
Valdez
being
fight.
said, Valdez.
Oh,
Fight of
okay,
the
the
night,
main
yeah.
fight. All right, there we go.
Coach,
That
what
was
shirt are you
exciting.
wearing today, Coach?
What's that?
Show me your shirt.
Oh, well,
yeah,
what am I
Shirt.
wearing?
Flex the shirt.
This is a shirt that he personally gave me.
Show the back.
Oh,
Same
I don't know if you
sign.
guys can see it, but Oscar did give me this shirt, and he also, I'm gonna show it, see if you guys can see it. He actually signed it.
Hey.
Coach is driving like it's hot.
Hey, can our camera guy zoom in on that?
Right there, right there.
Hey.
It's all massive sign there. So you know who I was. So you know who I was going for.
You know I signed that shirt, right?
Well, I have videos of it. You were small. so very
So
much.
once
so.
again, I know every time we jump on we say it, but Oscar Valdez used to train here, right?
He did.
Oh, yeah.
He did train here. Yes.
And
I'm the one that showed him that level.
that
In fact,
Yeah.
he still has the key to my gym.
Does he really?
He does. He has the
How
key to
does
the
he
gym.
say?
Always welcome to come in. That's what he liked about the gym. If he wanted to come after hours, he can come in. And the reason is he had a house here, which still does, which is 5 minutes from here.
Really?
So it was really easy. Instead of going to L.A.,
Very convenient
he could
for
just 5-minute drive, come here, put his heart into his workouts. And like I said, the guy's a beast when he works out. And he knew he could put a hard workout and said, okay, I can go home on a 5-minute drive.
Yeah. Go home.
And not have to worry about going to L.A. traffic or anything.
All sweaty.
And so that's what he
Falling
loved
asleep on the
about
way
it. That's,
home?
so he, like I said, he gave me the shirt and he signed it for me.
Nice.
Very humble guy. Love
I
him.
must say that last night was the best that I ever seen him fight.
Oh,
Oh, he looks.
Without a doubt.
dude, that's
Oh my God.
And I'll
different-
tell you,
different fighter.
I'll
Different
tell you
fighter
why.
completely.
I'll tell you why he looked really
Break it
good.
down, Coach.
So it's very simple. Remember, they were prior to fight earlier.
So
So,
what happened with that?
well, the Scorpion here had COVID.
ooh.
So that's why it was postponed. And to be honest, it really benefit Oscar. One, he can grow into that weight and prep even more. So even though he said he was upset because he said he was ready, but I said you still have chance to grow into it and getting comfortable at the 130. And because you are fighting a bigger guy. And again, the odds were against him.
Yeah.
Everybody really ruled him out of winning this fight. If you look at the bios prior to all this, everyone's comments, hey, I love Oscar, but there's no way he's going to win. It went so far as the Mexican president even
Even sided with.
decided with
Scorpion?
Miguel. He did call Miguel, hey, good luck on the fight, and you're going to win and all this, and so it really upset Oscar for that, and I don't blame Oscar. Even Julio Cesar Chavez even said,
Oh, he said that on the interview. You're
he
right.
says,
That's
even
a-
Oscar, Chavez, you're not going to win this fight.
He said that?
Yeah, you're not going to win.
Julio Cesar Chavez said that Adrien Broner was going to knock him out.
Yeah,
Well, let me
it was going to be a knockout
The guy's he's a champion, great record, bigger guy.
and a beast, a true beast
Monster, bro.
So,
from the same town.
yeah, that's right. Like you said, he came in as looking like a different fighter.
Yeah.
Valdez was fucking
He- I tell you what was
He would not slack off at all. Like you would think sooner or later he was gonna start brawling with him. No, he kept his composure. He kept the game plan and stuck to it the whole fight. And look what happened. He ended up with a knockout.
Is this his first fight under the
No.
Reynoso's?
No,
like
it's
his sixth fight.
Sixth fight.
Is
But
he
let me
gonna
tell
be-
you, within the sixth fight, here's what he improved on. We know he can bang. We know he can fight.
Yeah.
And we know he's got the balls. But what he brought into the table was he improved his defense.
Oh, yeah.
His defense was stronger and his movement. Finally, he did not decide to stand toe-to-toe and fight with him. And he was smart about it. They had a great game plan because he was fighting a bigger guy. So they knew you can never hit the ropes. Don't never have your back hit the ropes and don't find yourself going to the corner. So every time he went to the ropes, he got out. It was smart.
So smooth.
Really, when he got to the corner, he left because that's, he could have a beautiful boxing fight in the center where he was going to lose if he hit the ropes. So he was smart to get out. And that's what I seen. It was just I go, oh, look at this. He's changed. He's now, he needed the boxing. We know he can bang. We know that. Toe, you're not going to scare him. But that was the drawback. He just did, you couldn't do that with a bigger man. They realized he's too big for you to just stand toe-to-toe with him. So you're going to have to move more.
Yeah, and the backwards fighting. Like a lot of fighters can't fight.
No,
backwards.
he was
That's
beautiful.
one thing.
Backwards was dope too.
Once you push one guy back, they don't know what the hell to do. This dude backward, pop, pop.
Oh, it was.
Gosh,
And when he couldn't get when he tried to smother him in the corner, he just held him, turned him.
Yeah,
and then backed
it
up.
was a smart play.
Beautiful,
It was a
beautiful,
very smart
beautiful.
play. Again, there's no quit in Oscar, and I see that. There's no quit. To beat Oscar, you're gonna have to knock him out. Because Oscar, two broken ribs, a broken jaw. I'll be honest with you, that carries with you in every fight. That's a reminder. When you get your ribs hit, oh, please don't be broken. And, and getting hit in the jaw, oh my goodness. Some people, it becomes what we call a glass jaw. All you have to do is touch it and he falls, gets knocked out. And it takes a while to build that back up, to build up your chin, to say, can I take it again? But we know he has heart, and it clearly showed it. I couldn't stop cheering.
yeah, it was exciting.
I was like a cheerleader.
What was 3 knockouts?
Yeah. It was like 1 in the 4th. No, 2 in the 4th. No, I think it might be
One in the
4.
fourth, one in the eighth.
It was 2 in the 4th, I think.
Right, and the fourth round was
Because
really
he
serious.
got held up by the ropes.
Well, that's the only time he went down because he
No,
didn't go down. He didn't go down in the fourth. He got held up by the ropes.
No, he got shaken in the fourth.
Yeah, that's why. But when he went against the ropes, it was
Right.
considered a knockdown.
True.
And that was the only thing that happened in the fourth round.
Yeah.
And then he got dropped in the eighth round.
Right.
Twice. Was it twice? I know it was like 2 of them were like right next to each other. I don't know
Well,
if it was 2 different rounds.
it ended at the very end of the 10th
No,
round.
That was crazy too.
I think it was at the beginning of the 10th round.
Nope, at the end.
No, the first knockdown.
Oh, the first knockdown, correct.
And then he got.
It ended within seconds on the 10th round. It ended. But it's true. But I mean,
So it's
honestly,
seconds?
if you were watching it, you knew, it's going to end in the 4th round because
Yeah.
to see Miguel shake, wave, I'm like, it's done.
He was doing the
you could
Adrien Broner dance.
you could see it in his face. Was like he has heart too. You see it. He came to fight, but he could see it in that the eyes don't lie. It was like, oh my God, one more punch, I'm in trouble. He just didn't know what to do. And when I saw him sit in the corner, and they were talking to him, and he was numbed. He was just like in the glaze, like trying to register. We're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
How do I recover from this?
Staples Center.
and that's exactly true. But he came back to fight again. I mean, he's a true champion, and again, Oscar did respect that. He went after him, but he did respect him.
You know what? In my opinion, what makes a real champion, it's always great to celebrate, especially with a victory like that.
Right.
But when he came, and it's been all over the social media platforms where he walked, they had to stool the guy because he was asleep.
Right,
They had to
oh.
wake him up and sit him down. He went up to him and got on his knees and gave him all the utmost respect.
Oh, he did. I mean,
that's what I like.
that knockout remind me of when Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao. It was like the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Because Manny, when he got dropped with the right hand, he's face forward dropped.
I feel like that one was worse. He's just
It
dead
was,
weight.
It was
Boom.
just dead weight, but it looked the same way. And the thing was, Miguel kept swinging for the fences, and he could not find him. Now, let me tell you about boxing.
I think his equilibrium was off, to be honest with you, because he was rung so many times.
After the 4th
Well,
round, he was
that
done.
was unfortunate. I don't think he recovered so much, but at the same time, he kept fighting. And again, he was panicking because he couldn't. He knew if I hit you, I can hurt you, and he couldn't. If you really watch it, He can punch. He just didn't have the footwork to chase him. And what I mean by footwork, and I always talk about this, understand footwork. He did not know how to cut the ring. Did not. He just followed him like a train track. And so, in other words, the way Oscar was moving, you had to cut the ring because he was too elusive. In other words, when you can have somebody who beautifully move elusive, he goes, okay, I'm not going to chase you. I'm just going to go around you. I'm going to circle and head you off and have you run into me. That didn't happen. And I looked at it, I go, oh, I see the lack of it. So, and that's, people always train punching. A little bit of defense, as much as you think you do a lot, and zero footwork. I see it all the time. All my life, I watch guys and I go, I can't believe you're a champion and you have no footwork and not enough defense. And, you know, the only one I see that has it and people piss on him is Floyd Mayweather. He's a defensive fighter, but with superior footwork. And meaning what? You put him in the center of the ring, nobody can beat him because of his footwork. Now, you know, everyone's like, well, he's standing there. He's doing more than just standing there. Yeah. He knows where he's going, to the right, to the left. Every fighter knows how to go forward and backwards. Well, even a blind coach can teach you that. It's so simple.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did anybody see the weigh-ins on Friday?
The Valdez?
Of Valdez Berchelt.
I saw half of it.
Did you see how Berchelt was kind of like, what do you call that? Fragile? Because right after he weighed. Fragile? My bad, bro.
Well, like he's dehydrated or something?
Super dehydrated.
Well, he did gain like 16 pounds.
16 to 17 pounds.
Yeah.
I heard 19.
No, he looked,
weak.
bro, he was like hella weak.
Dude, that's what Coach was talking about.
So when he was walking, I don't know if you guys seen the weigh-ins, but they weren't carrying him,
Right.
but they were kind of like holding him.
Oh, I didn't pay
Well, I always talk about this. As a professional fighter, you're always fighting your weight. Always. It's almost like a runway, you know, like like a runway model. You're always fighting the weight. So it's got to the point now, and I remember back in the 70s and 80s, it was always weight first, then before you go into the ring and fight someone. Now they said, oh, we can just worry about it on a Friday and lose all the weight and dehydrate ourselves, so gain it back on Saturday. It made it better, but made it worse at the same time. In other words, they got lazy on their diets. So again, but as a professional, you really can't be eating food like you want to.
But do you think that was a factor in how his performance was last night?
You can't. You know what the thing is?
Because he did touch Oscar Valdez a couple times in the first early rounds, and it didn't phase Oscar at all.
But keep in mind, Oscar was growing into that weight.
I understand, but you gotta also understand that El Alacran, he's a way bigger fighter.
He's a way bigger fighter. Well,
So that when he puts one on you, you're really gonna feel that shit and not walk right through.
Well, understand this. That's why the defense of Oscar was better. Meaning, when the punch is coming, you learn to slip. In other words, you learn to just sit back instead of walking forward to the punch. Exactly. So it's not just because you're punching doesn't mean you're getting hit hard on a solid punch. It's because if you're at the end of it, especially if you're walking back, you didn't take the full impact. And versus if you ran into it, and Oscar wasn't running into it. So again, what I saw on Miguel, what he could have done was one, work on his improvement on his footwork. Again, it's always footwork. He didn't know how to follow him, meaning how to cut the ring off. He just kept following him. Second of all, Oscar throws hooks. He didn't know how to defend the hooks after a while. And he was receiving
them. He kept throwing that jab in his face.
Right.
Kept landing that jab. He couldn't protect the hooks.
So, I mean, again, you got to tighten up your defense as well. I mean, again, and he wasn't moving his head. He was. Oh no, he was straight in the middle.
His head was a target.
Made it good for Oscar, and Oscar was the quicker one. And like I said, they were the right strategy. Be first, be elusive, don't stand on the ropes, don't stand toe to toe with them, move around. It worked beautifully. And again, it just showed they both had heart. You can see it. It really.
I think it was the game plan. See, I think what you're trying to look at is you're looking at like how did it lead up to that. And the truth, my opinion is like you look at a easy to example. look at a Mayweather fight. All these great fighters don't look great in front of him because they're
'Cause
not
he's so
fighting
good?
their own fights. They're fighting his fight. And then Oscar made it more
His fight?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
his strategy was crazy.
It was
Correct.
perfect strategy.
All right,
Perfect
coach.
fight.
Now here's another question for you, coach.
Yes.
All right, Eric's your fighter,
Yes.
right? And he's fighting Oscar Valdez, or just anybody in general.
Right.
And Eric gets the 4 rounds like El Alacrán did.
Right.
And then here comes the 5th round. Damage after damage. 6th round, blows after blows. 8th round, 7th round, 8th round, he gets knocked down. Gets back up, and you can tell he's dazed.
Right.
And he can't really defend himself. Do you let him keep going? Or you throw in the towel?
When it's a championship fight, you let it keep going.
Really?
You're a professional. People want to see this. No one's going to say, oh, I sympathize. If it's really one-sided to a point where it's like, but he was fighting, and you have to give him. I've seen fights where the guy was losing all 11 rounds, coming to the 12th losing, and one punch end up winning, and he erases everything.
John Molina Jr.
Yep.
Against one of Mayweather's fighters.
So,
Corrales versus.
Oh, yeah. Castillo?
Castillo.
Yeah.
Lost all. Practically got his ass whipped, and people were like, "Oh, this fight's done." Mouthpiece. Gave him what 30 seconds of rest. Came back and knocked his ass out.
That's right.
All
so
you
yeah.
need.
So you really
You just need that one.
and keep in mind
Lucky
he is
punch.
the champion. It was his belt. So you don't just stop it. It's not to the point where he can't defend himself. He was still fighting, and he was chasing.
And
So-
if Coach were to stop it, he's gonna get a YouTube video made of him like Deontay Wilder.
Oh, very much so. Very much
A
so.
loyal trainer.
Very much. Oh, it would hit me hard. You know, and keep in mind how hard this fight was. Oscar moved beautifully, and his conditioning was incredible. And I'll tell you how, for people who are non-fighters, don't understand this, why people stop. When you look at boxing, why did he stop punching? And not understand how tired you are. Meaning what? It's like telling you, okay, can you run? All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to run 3 miles. Okay?
Come back and
But the first mile, I want you to sprint and run. The first mile, I want you to run to get 6 minutes. If you can run the mile in 6 minutes, then you can run the other 2 miles. When you sprint that first mile and say, I made it 6 minutes, and they go, you got 2 more miles. And you're like, I'm done.
I'm passing out.
Yeah.
That is a fighter.
Yeah.
When you go to 12 rounds, you're strong in the early rounds, but you fade in the later rounds. It's like, oh my goodness, I did this major sprint. I can't be throwing my punches, and it's incredible. And that was one thing I was watching about Oscar. Oh my goodness, he was sprinting the whole time, and I go, and you can see towards the end he was.
Yeah.
It was
The ninth
typical.
round,
he was
like-
dropping his defense, but I understood. I go because he was moving, and Miguel realized, oh, this is my chance to get him. I got to get him, and that's why he started sprinting, and he got caught with that punch. So again, this is boxing, but that's really why people are like, why are they fading? They have no idea what it takes. It's like that's why it's in lame term, run 3 miles, sprint the first mile, and tell me how the other 2 miles is. Because normally if you just jog the 3 miles, it's not a big deal, and you really can't jog in the ring too much.
And that's why you strategize too in your game plan. You have to strategize your rounds too. That's why they say it's chess, not checkers.
Exactly.
When they say, "Oh, he's taking the round off," it means he's moving and he's trying to.
More evasive.
Recover. I mean, there's a plan A, plan B, and a plan C, and you have to really work those 3 together. But again, Oscar fought beautifully, and you're right. He looked his best.
Yep.
He really put himself on the top. In fact, the idea, he slapped everybody's face who doubted him.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah,
really
he did.
slapped everybody's face because
Everyone's face
now
with Canelo branded gloves.
I'm reading everything, how everybody jumped in the bandwagon on Oscar, what a great champion he is, and how it wasn't easy, but you were doubting him. And like I said, I even said it too, it was going to be one of his hardest fights. But one thing I do know about him, and I did say this, that there's no quit in him. He's going to fight to the end. But you know, like again, he won this fight beautifully, and hands down, he didn't get beat up on this.
Do you think? No, not at all. Do you think it was knockout of the year?
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. This was a mega fight. This was
It's
again.
only February.
It's
Still top
dude.
10.
You have to top that. You're gonna have to top that. That's not something easy to top. I mean, because you had 2 Mexican fighters who are 2 world champions, great in what they are, lived from the same hometown. They were friends, but still rivals. You're not gonna get something better than that.
And Alacrán's coach, what's his name?
His coach.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He was talking all kinds of shit on that Reynoso.
Was he really?
No, it is.
You talking the ring, dude. He didn't drop. He slept him. That dude fell like.
And again, I said this before.
I'm telling you, he was doing the Broner dance.
Yeah.
But like I said, Oscar had the best sparring partner.
Oh,
Canelo. Who else for a
That
sparring?
did him wonders.
You could talk about a good camp. Oh, my sparring partners were good. Who better to bring Canelo Alvarez into your corner and say, let's spar?
And what did he outweigh him by, like?
Oh,
40 pounds?
easily 40 pounds.
Can you
But
imagine that?
so in other words, he could work off of him and tee off him and work on his defense. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. I mean, so really, that was a great deal, and
Andy Ruiz has a punching bag in there.
very much.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But
but Adrien Reese ain't that fat no more, bro.
he's dropped some weight, but he needed to because people talk shit on him. It was true. True hurts.
And I don't care if he loses 100 pounds. He's got to prove it in the ring.
That's true.
He's fighting Areola.
Yep,
Is it confirmed?
it is. You were right. You were right.
It's really, really close. Yeah.
It's logical. Ariola he was the Andy Ruiz of a long time, and
True.
now he's not there really, and he's a good test. Perfect lineup for him.
Does. So what's next for Oscar Valdez? Oh, did you see that Teofimo Lopez?
Oh, he was there,
reaction?
right?
Yes, very much so.
And they talked.
He was excited for him, and I don't blame him. But realistic, what is next for Oscar? Well, like Oscar said it the best. I just want to go home.
Oh, yeah.
I've been training this whole time. I've been gone, and I just want to go home and rest and see my family. And I agree. In other words, you can rest. You've earned it. You fought the best fighter at the 130. You deserve to sit back and watch what goes on now because you're now on top. So to pressure him to say, what's next, let him sit and relax. He doesn't have to get there. He just did a mega fight.
Enjoy his title.
Exactly. Just won a mega
I
fight.
did not see that on Teofimo Lopez, but I did see the one for Shakur Stevenson.
Oh,
I saw that one too.
yes.
I was going to bring that up right now.
And in the same interview, he said that they asked him, and he said it also. Maybe Shakur Stevenson, who knows? But let me just go home with my family. Shakur Stevenson is one of those guys I told you nobody really talks about. He is bad.
He is bad. It's true. Hard to. I watched him live.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched him live. I did. Well, in fact, it was okay. Here we go. Not to be bragging about it.
Oh, you're bragging. You're bragging.
When Oscar gave me his tickets to watch him fight at the Stub, and Sean Kiven was there. He was the opening.
Shakur.
Yeah. So when I watched him fight, so it was a real good
It's funny
treat.
that you guys bring
Precise.
up Shakur Stevenson because last week he posted a picture of him uppercutting the little Vargas.
Oh.
Emiliano?
Emilio?
Is Emiliano, right? Is
Emilio?
the small
The
one?
little one?
The little one.
I think it is. No, Emiliano's the old one.
No, he's a young one. He's
Is he the
he's
young one?
yeah.
Okay. It was hilarious. So he posted the picture of him. It was a clean uppercut shot. Clean. And then the middle one is, who is the middle one?
Dude, I mix them up.
There's like Emilio,
Yeah.
Emilio. Fernando Jr.
Estevez.
and Emilio.
Okay, Amado is the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He posted up the video of
Oh,
them sparring.
them sparring. Yeah, and he goes, put up the whole tape. Don't
He's
just put
all,
the clip.
he's all, don't just put the
Are you
clip
serious?
where you got your only shot. He's all, that's my little brother. He's 16 years old and he lit your ass up.
Wow.
Yeah, those kids are animals. All three of
Duh,
those kids are
I was
animals.
like,
I didn't see that.
and then Fernando Vargas comments on that. He's like, yeah, tell that puto.
Puro Var- what is
So,
it? Puro Vargas?
hay Vargas para rato, cabrón.
Yeah.
Oh, I was out of the loop on that one.
But yeah, that's just, just since you guys have brought up Shakur Stevenson.
Right.
And it's true because fighters be doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, like, in your case, right? When
Oh,
you
yeah.
spar, right, Eric?
Yeah, that happened a couple times.
Yeah.
They put the 5 second.
Put the
Bring,
5
bring the mic
second.
closer, bro. Bring the mic closer.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So, it happened to you, right? When you were sparring, you were lighting the dude up.
Oh yeah. The whole fight. I was
then
lighting him up.
The last 5 seconds, he gets a couple licks.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that they upload.
5 seconds.
Right? It happens a lot. So they can say, look, I took on Eric. And again, I don't videotape because I don't want to be that guy to say.
I'll be that guy. Don't worry.
I always say, but you guys are welcome, not me.
That's what he told me. He's like, I'm not going to record, but if you want to,
It's up to you.
you're more than welcome
But
to.
you're welcome to send me the video.
No, but yeah, real quick though, before we touch off the subject of Oscar Valdez, who's next for him?
Honestly, we don't know, and it could be anybody, obviously. So I'm all for Oscar letting him rest, and I know you guys want to just throw a big line after him, but whatever it is going to be big anyhow.
So what's next for Alacran?
That's where it comes. Now, keep in mind, he
How old is he?
got beat up.
Alacran?
Yeah, how old is he? He's like,
I think he's 29
Is he?
years old, turning 30.
Damn.
I think he's 30.
But I think he's a solid champion.
He's a solid champion, but he has to regroup because he took a beating,
that footwork.
and again his pride got broken. So he's going to have to take some time off and readjust and come back. It definitely does not deserve a rematch. It's not
no.
It's not a rematch fight. So really, it's just he has to rebuild himself.
Yeah.
And it all depends because that kind of vicious knockout. How does he come back again? And my recommendation is a starter fight. Don't a lot of them like, no, I want a big major fight again. That's not always the best thing. Start with a starter fight, get yourself back into it, and then build yourself up. That's really the right way, and that's where a good promoter says that and say, hey, nah, let's not do that. Let's
He's
just.
29.
He's 29. Okay, that's what I said. 29.
he's young.
Alacran? I don't know.
Interesting.
It's not top rank.
It could be top rank.
I know that's what that is.
Yes, Valdez is top rank. It could be.
No, he doesn't have any promoters on here.
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump topic to. Unless you guys have anything else to say.
Oh no, go ahead. No, this is good.
We always circle back. I don't know why. It
Yeah.
always goes right back. And I don't mean for the anticipated shit talking, but the Broner.
Oh well, Broner.
Watch it. Watch it.
I saw the highlights.
I watched it. Now, let me tell you about this. Okay, Broner would have been a great fight to watch if it wasn't for the Oscar fight. Okay? That was the whole thing because that's what tainted it. It was like it was boring. But really Broner is very entertaining. And
Not last night he wasn't.
well, actually, you know what? He's flashy, he's movement. It would have been if it wasn't for these other fights. So, again,
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Is Adrien Broner, would you pay $69, $79
Nope.
in 4 months to watch him fight again?
not now. No, not now. Because he lost the luster. And again, he's rebuilding himself. But 3 years ago, yes.
Oh, everyone was a...
3 years ago. The problem with Broner, he is his worst enemy.
He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, he's stupid.
What did he say last
I'm going to
night?
call it out. He was stupid.
No, but what did he... Something that kind of like got my attention was the fact that I just want to box because boxing keeps me out of trouble.
True.
Come on, man.
Look, bro.
Get them out of trouble, but he keeps getting in trouble.
Honestly, though, when you come from the streets and you come from the gutter
Dude, I get it.
and all your homies, bro,
I get
are
it.
criminals, you want to go back to the hood because you ain't a sucker.
And
what I'm saying?
you feel like you got to give back. I
And-
get it.
No. You have to learn to stop being stupid because the homies don't pay shit for you.
Homie, don't play that.
So, in other words, you
Coach
learn,
don't
you
play
put on your big boy pants on and become a man. You're making a lot of money and you're on the fame, and to go back to the ghetto to be stupid is not excusable.
That's true.
I don't excuse it.
My whole thing with Broner, I think we touched on it on the third or fourth episode, is that the guy was given the biggest platform of an up-and-coming boxer.
Right.
He was heir to the throne of the Floyd Mayweather film. The dude was on 24/7, all access on Mayweather's fights. What are the fighters next to Mayweather for that?
Right.
None. Who else is being catered to and like trained?
Tank Davis now.
Oh, it's
yeah.
Tank Davis now.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, but it should have been Broner.
Yeah.
After retirement, Broner was supposed to pick up. And dude, I used to big this guy up. He was
Braun
flying
locked
through
and dropped the ball.
20, the 20, actually 30, 35 weight classes. He was walking through.
Well, Broner is flashy.
But he not only flashy, he is super, super talented.
Oh, very much so.
Very talented.
Very good to footwork. And I seen that when I was watching him yesterday. And I was like, I go, he's doing everything right. The only thing he's not doing enough is letting his hands go. And that's one of his downfalls.
Yeah.
I go, your feet work beautifully, but your hands don't
He's
work.
a nasty counterpuncher.
And, but
But in the 130s,
Yeah.
what was it? He was like a. I might be going a little far. He was like a lightweight Roy Jones with some De La Hoya snap. Like
he was quick.
He was.
He was
knocking
good.
people out
He was
nonstop.
beautifully then.
And then he tried to do like a shoulder roll that was not a shoulder roll, that was imitating Mayweather, and then he was getting punched over the top because that's how you do.
Right.
The shoulder roll is a defensive thing, not
Right.
a stand in the middle.
Exactly.
And do this.
It's called the
You
Philly
can go
shuffle.
Right over and touch him.
The Philly shuffle.
The Philly, yeah. So when he started changing his persona to the AB rapper thing, he tried to become a rapper. He was on tour. He got fat. I'm like, what are you doing? How do you take such a lucrative, promising path in your career, and then you want to be a rapper and you throw away your boxing career?
Right.
The dude literally could have commanded 10, 15 million easily per fight.
And you're absolutely correct. Like I said, I watched him. It was boring because you just got through watching a great fight. And there was none of those fights were gonna compare to what Oscar was performing. It was just wasn't.
No, not at all. But
It's like watching a regular basketball game versus the playoffs.
Yes.
It doesn't have the same heat
and
to
it's
it.
crazy to think that because Broner was the next guy.
Right.
In all of boxing, not.
And you're right. Like I said, he got stupid. He got too tied up and caught up thinking he was the Floyd Mayweather, up and coming Floyd Mayweather, which he's not. You know, if he kept his composure and stayed smart, who knows what? Like you said, he could have got there. But now, again, the problem is he's a B, not an A fighter anymore. And he had a fighter who was undefeated, but the guy didn't make the weight. So they had to go up on weight. So you could make excuses, meaning he was fighting for the 140 and ended up going to 147 because the guy did not make the weight. So that being said, that could have weakened up to get to the weight to 140, to the 140. So again, the fight went on, and it ended in the 12th round.
Broner didn't win.
Broner picked it up in the later rounds, not in the early rounds. In the later rounds, he picked it up. And he was still the flashier guy.
Yeah, he's always been flashy.
So, again, Broner has the bigger name, and the judges were looking at that. So, now, again, you need to understand how judging is.
Well, the judges last night sucked.
Well, again, you need to understand how judges. You're being a judge, and because you're judging the fight, but they're on ringside. They're there. You're on TV side. So what you think you saw on TV, that you are not there in ringside where you hear the punches and you see the other punches coming in the corner that the camera doesn't catch.
I heard the Oscar Valdez punch. I heard that on TV.
You heard that on TV?
Hey, oh my God, my heart almost stopped.
Yeah, I tell you, again, that gave me a Woody. So, so that was really it was awesome fighting. Okay, so let's not go there no more. But
Coach got up to get some water with the chest.
yeah, so it was an awesome fight. So obviously, if you're a Mexican, either way, you won.
Shit, I'm glad I didn't come over last night.
You saw that cheap shot though, from the dude that, Broner?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. That was
Way
bad.
after
That's frustration.
It is.
That's a sign of frustration when you're
I
having
counter
that.
Punching him all day, man.
The first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth round, Adrien Broner didn't do nothing.
That's the
Nothing.
problem.
Well, that's Broner. That's why they call him the problem. He doesn't do anything.
We don't want the problem. We want the can man.
Yeah.
Remember when he was a can
Right.
man? He was the flashy
Yeah.
flash, does backflips like Teofimo. The dude was bad, and he now his shit talking is watered down to like
True.
flat jokes. Like, dude, shut up. That was dumb. Back then it was funny shit. Like he would, because his confidence was there. Do you remember that? When
Yeah.
He pumps up the can man. You
Yeah.
remember that? He's like,
Because anybody
Oh,
can
yeah. They
get
call him
a
problem.
Mexican.
Remember, he was always brushing his hair after the fight.
Dad, that was but you have to keep winning in order to.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, it just becomes dumb. Like, dude, you lost your last.
He was in a running streak, then he fell apart. And when he fell
Did
apart,
you see him when he fought Pacquiao?
oh yeah. Let's be.
I don't know what y'all saw.
Well,
Love
he
that fight. Like, all right.
he was. I tell you, he was smart, and I will tell you what he was smart about. Of course, he did not win the fight. A blind man can see that, but he knew. If I accept the loss, I don't go anywhere from here. So he was smart to say, hey, I won that fight. You guys were stupid. You guys don't believe me? He promoted himself. I watched the man promote himself and trying to convince you that he won that fight. And he did such a good job. He still stayed on top because of that. But if he said he lost, he would have been down to the sunset. You would have watched him away. So in other words, the reason why he did that, he got your attention. Well, let me see what you can still do. But clearly, he did not win the fight.
I think it only takes you so far because now I won't pay to watch.
No, of course not. You know, right now, where does he go from here? Well, he's at the bottom. He has to work his way up.
Go through Thurman, go through
he has to go through all that. And again, he's at the B level. And the only way to become an A, he has to work his way up. And can he do it? I don't know. He looks more like a bodybuilder, like from prison, than he does as a boxer.
Damn, why you gotta say all that?
Well, because of his shoulders. I looked in I'm like,
he's wide.
he's got these wide shoulders, you know, and I'm like, man, he's doing a lot of sit-ups and push-ups and pull-ups.
You ever see him out of shape?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He gets the beer belly, and
Right.
he gets the big neck.
So,
he's built like that.
and so, but again, it's the food that he's eating too. So,
It's terrible. He drinks.
so, but again, he's got to build himself up. And again, and like he said, you guys got to keep me active. Well,
Yeah.
So think about it. We're here talking about all his negatives and all his other dumb shit, and
Right.
we are talking about his last night's fight.
right.
That's
Well,
where he's at.
he won, but
He didn't win.
Did he win?
No.
Again, you know, it was. Here's what it was. It was close to a draw,
It
and
was a closer draw.
it was close to a draw, and versus him winning. But again, either way you can look at it, and it wasn't a win for him because he wasn't really successful for what he got. So, but he didn't get the loss. He can still move on, and for a fighter, that means a lot.
The Easton fight was more excited than that, and that shit was whack too.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
Easton, you didn't like that? That was a good fight.
The Easton fight?
Yeah, that was a good fight.
It
Oh
was
my
just
God.
one-sided.
Again,
Easton picked them apart.
again, that's the art.
You tell me Easter.
Easter, Robert Easter.
Easter,
I was
yeah,
like,
but you got to remember Easton. That's
I
the
was like,
I
art.
was like, who the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, you got to remember him. That's the art of boxing. That's
Yeah.
well, that's the appreciation of watching. It's like watching, you know, like to say, watch a beautiful basketball player just how he dunks, how he shoots, and make it one-sided. Like, oh, you know, like he's a Michael Jordan. No one shitted on him.
I did. I'm just kidding.
Really, you're the only one then.
What
But
about Kobe, baby?
but again, you just don't. He was good in what he did, and
No,
you can't fault him for that.
No. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying.
Again, as from a boxing standpoint, as a coach, every coach wants to see that for their fighter. Go in there, dictate, own the fight without getting beat up. And at the end of the day, he goes, I appreciate that because I didn't get hit.
He didn't.
And that's called boxing.
Yeah.
It's not brawling, not knockout.
Nah, I
It's
guess-
boxing, and that's exactly what you just saw was boxing. So you can hate it, but you have to learn to appreciate what it is.
No, yeah. You're right. You know what? I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
This guy. No, because, bro, like, the other dude couldn't do nothing.
I know.
Nothing. And I'm just like, damn, bro, hit this motherfucker.
Again, part of it again, people need to learn to work with their feet. Sometimes when I say you're fighting with your hands, and I know what I'm supposed to do, not when your feet are not doing anything.
What I told Coach last week, I was like, hey, let me punch. He was like, well, your feet don't know how to fight, so how the hell you want to punch? And I was like, well, I want to learn how to punch. He's like, well, learn how to walk.
True. Learn how to walk. That's exactly. Once you learn how to walk, you learn how to fight. And I always tell this to all my guys, your feet are your fighters.
Yeah.
They're the ones that dictate the fight. If your feet can fight, your hands can fight. If your feet screw up, so does your hands. Look at the history of boxing. When people get knocked out or get beat up, it's their lack of footwork. It ain't the lack of handwork.
Dude, let me just tell you this. When you gas out and you don't have that muscle memory of your feet moving and getting getting you out of the danger zone basically, and you gas out and you can't lift your fucking arms,
Doing your
and
legs
the dude's
lock
over there
out?
beating the shit out of you, and your legs are giving out, you will literally feel helpless.
Yeah.
Helpless, bro. And if
So
coach
we're
is a nice
feeling-
guy, he's gonna make you finish the round. And if not, you know, because some guys are like, no, okay, I'm done. No, you're not fucking done. The bell's still on. You gotta take it. You feel helpless. So I've been to a point where I would throw a punch I'm taking punches, and I'm just shelled up, and I'm like, fuck it. And I throw this massive overhand right that I think is massive, and it's literally nothing. I'm so gassed out. It's a helpless feeling. The footwork will save you, bro.
The footwork will save you.
Save you.
Correct.
Don't
Like I tell the guys when they
Why
go,
you
Coach, I
gonna
want to
stop?
quit. And I said, why don't you start moving? Might help you.
Yeah, a lot of people
Don't just
freeze
stand
and
there.
stay there and want to punch.
One thing I don't really teach, and I say this time after time, I say, when I'm teaching you, two things I'm going to not teach you. How to walk forward and how to back up. Why? You already know how to do that. You definitely know how to run,
Side to side.
and you think you know how to chase, but you don't know side to side or angles from angles.
Yeah.
Those are the things I teach, and those are the hardest things to do.
Hell yeah. I agree.
So learn how to walk, bro.
Yep, learn how to
I
walk.
know how to twerk.
It reminds me, dude. When are we sparring, man?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
you called
bro.
out Eric.
Call me
You
out,
called him
man.
slick.
He
He's
tell
slick.
me, dog.
That's right. He called you out.
Oh, D-Slick's always ready, though.
I'm calling you out now, man.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah,
We
said
could
it.
do it tomorrow.
Before he learns how to walk. Hey, give him a few licks from
Hey, where?
Hey, say that story again? Say that much. I think the bathroom was dying.
So was it like what, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, House of Pain.
2 weeks ago, we were invited. Well, not we. I just tagged along. But we were invited to House of Pain in Temecula for a sparring day. For a sparring day for Eric. And, we got there. Everybody's sizing Eric up, looking at him top to bottom. And I told Eric, hey, bro, be careful. He's going to come to hit to fight. He's, oh, really? Yeah. I was like, just make sure you give him a couple licks for me. He's where you want me to lick him?
In the face.
So you want me to lick his helmet? No. Oh man, that
I
was
wish I
great.
was in there, man.
That,
awesome.
bro,
It was good. I was there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Cool.
You guys got anything else?
Oh, no. It was, like I said, it was a good weekend of fights.
You're all Oscar Valdez, though.
Oh, dude, it was like winning the Super Bowl.
Man.
It was really awesome to see Oscar. It was happy. It was
Well,
great to see him.
next week is Canelo, right?
Canelo.
Yep.
27th.
Everybody, you need to look out for the undercard of that fight. Believe me when I tell you. You will thank me later.
Who's fighting?
A bunch of good ass dudes that I forgot their names, and I just don't
One
want
was your mama,
to. And I just don't want to say the Mexican. You know what I mean?
and over
How
here
many?
in this corner, the beaner.
The brown guy with the,
brown
not so
guy.
brown guy. No, I forgot the list of the pad, but trust me, believe me, you'll thank me later. The undercard of the Canelo fight is gonna be amazing.
Oh, I'll be watching.
It might even be better than the Canelo fight itself.
Really?
I don't know, because I'll tell you right now. Think about Canelo, how prepared he is. I mean, who was his best sparring partner? Well,
Me.
he had Oscar,
Oscar.
Yeah.
so he's ready for it.
What do you think? Knockout? You think he's gonna knock him out, or do you think he's gonna go?
I think Canelo's gonna knock him
I think he
out.
stops him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Under what? Like 7 and 10?
I think it goes
8.
9. I go 9 or.
I call
9
8.
or under.
I'm going for it.
I'm going for the 5th.
6.
9.
Damn. So we're all saying knockout.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
saying
Oh, yeah.
stop it. I say body.
5th round.
Body.
He's
All right.
on the body.
I'm saying
If-
uppercut.
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 Same.
'Cause it starts from the body, ends at the uppercut.
From what I saw last time, maybe the shoulder. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So you call 9.
9 body.
You call
6.
6.
Left hook.
5.
You saw 5. And I call 8. So whoever's closest wins.
You wins what?
I don't know. What do you guys want to put on it?
No. Well, now you put a bet on it.
No, it's
Now I was just talking shit.
it's amongst
Now you gotta make
us.
a more calculated decision.
Right now you put me in a spot cheater. You're learning how to be a con artist like myself now.
Huh?
Damn. Okay. Well, what do you want to do? Let's see here.
What's a good?
What's a good wager? What's a good wager? Huh? A bottle.
A bottle.
I like her style.
A bottle of lotion?
Hey, hang with her.
He said a bottle of lotion.
Back to body works, or what?
He said Jergens extra soft.
Back to glow again.
I'm a
Don't forget the
I'm going to
Kleenex.
use this well.
Oh man, I like it.
Oh, fucking coach. No, well, let's see who's closer. I call the 8th round.
6th round.
6, 9,
Five.
5,
5, 6. What was it?
8.
8, 9. 5, 6, 8, 9.
All right. Well, we'll figure that shit out.
Okay.
But
Oh, yeah. After you win, you're going to call it big.
no, well,
Bless from each of you.
let's do it right now before we log
Yeah,
off.
it's got to be. I mean, how are you betting something afterwards, not before?
I like your style. Let's do a bottle.
Bottle? Coach don't drink though. That's
don't
not
drink.
fair.
You don't? That's not yourself.
Yeah, I'm
We'll get him some Dr. Brown bottles.
57 years old, never been drunk.
What?
Yep.
Never been drunk.
It amazes me every time I hear it too, bro.
Never
Yeah.
even smoked a joint or a cigarette or a
Well, I
cigar.
don't drink them either, but-
Never done drugs.
I haven't done drugs, but they've done me.
I just had dirty women.
No,
I tried not to swear, but that didn't fucking work.
I didn't swear. All right, wager.
All right.
What is it?
Well, Coach doesn't drink, so if you win, Coach, you gotta do something else. If
Do
I
you
win,
drink,
I'll
Eric?
take it.
Okay, Eric doesn't drink.
You don't drink hard
Not,
liquor?
not really.
He's not into licking or liquor.
All right, we're bad influence here, bro.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
athletes.
But
They're athletes, and we're fat leads. All right, I got a wager.
Go.
All right.
I don't got a wager.
Oh, let's make it simple. Let's make it easy. How about the loser pays for lunch for El Pollo Loco?
All right.
I don't eat. I'm a vegetarian.
Are you really?
Hell no.
I'm gonna say, such being you.
Hey, man, you're missing out, man.
Damn, I was like, oh, damn,
No, that's fine. Yeah.
that's
All right.
simple.
Just dinner.
The loser brings lunch next week.
Sounds perfect. There we go. There
The
we go.
loser brings lunch next week.
Well, who's the loser? What guy gets the furthest from
The furthest
Oh, the
from.
furthest one.
Furthest from.
Whoa.
So that's like
How-
golf.
I'm the 5th one, you asshole. That
We're
does
changing
not
your
work.
answer, man.
All right, from one con artist to another con artist, no.
So
The
okay.
winner, I tell you this, let's make it simple. The winner picks and choose where everyone gets the food from.
Okay.
All right.
So
Does that make
the
sense?
three other guys
There you go.
paid,
See how
or
I
what?
pulled that off? Dumb asshole. Pay for it.
All right, everybody. What you got, Coach? Nothing. You done?
Nothing's all good. I was, like I said, good weekend.
Good weekend. It was a great weekend. Slick, Lou.
Good to be back
All right,
after
La raza.
the Valentine's Day.
Yes.
All right, Boxing Club Podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Out.
Peace,
Peace.
out, man.